Post-race, Ryan Blaney was disqualified. Left front shock did not meet the overall length specified by NASCAR.
Yikes. I'm going to need a show and tell session by NASCAR to why it was not. I don't know, was the shock altered or did they put it together and not meet the specified length? And the teams are pretty diligent on making sure that those are the right length. How it ended up not being, not sure. Hard for me to speculate. We'll know when we go to Homestead this week.
Can I get like a NASCAR 101 on the important why this part is there like?
Sure. My answer is I really don't know. Was it too short or too long? I don't know. And
How does it affect the car?
Man, y'all are really exposing me here. I don't know that. I don't know the reason
These
why
guys
you
just
would
drive
want
the cars, Travis. They don't know anything.
No,
else about it.
Shut up, Jared. I don't. On this subject, listen. I didn't bring it up because I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I need to do some research on it for sure, and I probably should have before I grabbed the mic today. I don't know whether you want that short or long, and why you would want it short or long. So I don't know. I need to find that out. But it wasn't the specified length, that's for sure. And it was not the specified length, so NASCAR said you broke the rules and you get DQ'd. That's what they're doing. Go NASCAR. Doing a great job. Inspection, they're not, I can give you a NASCAR 101 about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They'd say, hey, don't do that. Don't do that again. They would let so much stuff go that was blatantly wrong, but they didn't. They were just apprehensive to lay down big penalties because they didn't like the bad pub and all that. Not anymore. They're like, we don't care who you are, what you're doing. Don't mess with this next-gen car. We give you the rules, play in those rules, and if you don't, you're going to get DQ'd. So I like that.
I'm genuinely curious if, something like this was on purpose or it was just an accident, because it seems like NASCAR set the precedent that you're not going to get away with cheating these things if that's what you're doing, which makes me think,
is it on purpose or an accident? If it's an accident, that is a huge mistake.
Yeah, there's no way that something on the car's an accident.
When they did the show and tell on Harvick's windshield, where they said, okay, these are airplane grade fasteners. This is not a washer. It pretty much told me what I needed to know on that, right? That these bolts did not accidentally fall out. Like, they just don't. Like, even if you unscrew them, you cannot unscrew them enough for them to fall out.
I get it.
It's just not possible.
It's just Blaney wasn't a race-winning car yesterday. So if you're taking this chance to...
Was he better than he has been on mile and a halves?
Yes.
So then what are we talking about?
It
doesn't matter. He doesn't have to win the race.
He just needed to make up points and stay a lot
And he was doing a great job of it.
I guess. He was still seventh in the standings post-race before
this is touchy
penalty.
for me because I don't know. I mean, did that play any factor in how well he ran? I have no idea. This is where I'm a race car driver. I am not a mechanic. That is for sure. Now, I worked on my own when I was younger, and when I crashed it, I had to fix it as well. But it's too technical for me to answer. This is where we need a real crew chief in here explaining why someone would want that shorter or longer. I'll get the explanation later, but it's going to be too late.
Yeah. Did you cheat up your car when you were younger, when you were working on it?
No, sir. No, sir. People thought, we won so many races in late models, people thought that we were, but we didn't. I had great equipment in the latter parts of my late model career. Won 25 out of 35 in 2004, set 6 track records that year. That's what got me noticed by Joe Gibbs, or really it was by J.D. Gibbs, who came to the test at Hickory. And then he called Joe and says, hey, I think we might have found something here. But I just had great equipment and short tracks. I just felt, like I was strong at them. Personally, I was strong at them. So we didn't. I can't recall anytime we got thrown out of a race or disqualified or anything like that. Now, they would tear us down every single week. And that used to be the biggest pain in the ass when it came to short track racing, was that, is the track or a competitor would protest your car just to get you to tear it down, tear it all apart.
To put it back together.
Just to make you spend money to put it back together. Because a lot of times if it was an engine, you would have to send the engine back to the engine builder to get reassembled and put back together. So, and when they take it apart, they got to put new parts back in it. And it would cost you significant money. And so if you just wanted to be a dick to someone, you could just protest them and make them tear their car all apart. And, that's the way that goes. I don't know if the rules are still that way or not, but that was kind of a crappy system back in the day. But no, I don't recall. I didn't get DQ'd till I came to the Xfinity and Cup Series. I've had some encumbered wins. I had the one at Darlington where they ripped the trophy literally right out of my hands, leaving the media center saying, sorry, we're going to need that back. Your Xfinity car didn't pass inspection. I'm like, what? And at that point, you got me at Darlington. Why do we need? We don't need a thousandth of an inch. Don't make it close. Just let me run the ball here. But yeah, it's just, I think this is a changing of the guard, and certainly NASCAR made it very apparent when they came out with this next gen, and they told us all. They told every team owner, we're not going to put up with any shenanigans, and if it's not right, it's not right. There is no gray area here. It's black and it's white. And so they're putting their foot down, and it cost Ryan Blaney. Now he's 56 out of the cut. He will not make up 56 in 2 races, so he will need to win. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? I know that's a bold question, but it's got that irresistible taste to back it up. Well, when you've got an irresistible match like zero sugar and 0 calories, something sensational is bound to happen. It's like when me and my co-host Jared team up to make a podcast. It's too bad you can't taste with your ears, because Coke Zero Sugar tastes so amazing, it's hard to put it into words. But hey, that's my job, at least on Mondays. You have to taste it for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever.
One thing we haven't touched upon yet is how you feel about your day.
I'm obviously disappointed in the way we closed the end of that race. There was a couple defining moments. One was restarted 5th, and then Logano split me 3 wide. I was tucked up on the car in front of me, pushing them, and then all of a sudden he gets a run on me and sticks me 3 wide in the middle, and that was still okay. But Chastain, he gave me room on the in the middle lane, but then all of a sudden he turned left and didn't give me room, and I'm squeezed between him and Logano, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. I mean, 2 guys that don't care about the playoffs now, and so I'm in the middle of them, and I still hold my ground, and then the caution came out, so I lost 2 spots, and then I think we restarted. We got some of those spots back, and I liked my car, but I'd got sideways in one of the corners and got a little loose, and so we made some adjustments in the last stop, and it didn't fit the car that well, and I couldn't go anywhere. It just was I had a ton less grip and just didn't work out. So we faded there to 10th. We probably, I think about kind of where we should have battled. I mean, I certainly thought that we were as good as Bell throughout the day, if not better in the long run. And just couldn't, just every time my car started coming in and I started to really go forward, the caution would come out, and just never got the long enough runs to really let it all pay off for me. So yeah, it's probably, I certainly thought we had a top 5 car and ran inside the top 5 for most of the day. Just didn't get the result. We didn't have a catastrophic day, but just, by our standards, below average on our day there for sure.
How do you feel about the playoff grid now being +4?
I wish I was plus more, but on to Homestead. I mean, I saw, on a Cincinnati by Belichick, you just, I can't change the result, right? I can't go back and rerun the race. So just moving on to Homestead and trying to figure out how to extend that gap and win the race.